So I had these strawberries in the refrigerator, and to keep them from going bad, because I couldn't figure out what else to do with them, I've cut them up, and now I am macerating them in some sugar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together some strawberry shortcake in a jar. Hold on, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So I had these strawberries in the refrigerator, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with them, but I definitely do not want them to go bad. So what I have done is I've cut them up, and I've cut them in half, and I have them just kind of marinating and hanging out with this loveliness of sugar. I believe the culinary folks call this, I call it marinating, but I think they call it macerating, something like that. It's soaking in sugar, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make some strawberry shortcake in jars. You wanna see how I'm gonna do it? It's so easy. Look, all you need are strawberries and a box of cake mix. That's it. You know, you need eggs or whatever else you need to go in your cake mix, but that really is it. So let me show you how I'm gonna do this. All right, so as I said, I am going to be making strawberry shortcake in a jar. And so I've got my jars here. These are the jars that I use for like making my preserves and jellies and things like that. But I thought it'd be pretty cool to do it this way. I had the strawberries and I've cut them up. I have sugar coating over them, and I just added a little lemon to it just for some added freshness. The cake I'm going to be using is just basically a box cake. It doesn't matter what box cake you use. This just happens to be one of the ones that I had in the refrigerator, in my pantry. So you'll notice that I don't have a mixer. And that's because not everyone actually has a mixer, be it a standing mixer. I've got a KitchenAid, being a hand mixer, I got one of those. But I just wanted to let you know that you don't necessarily have to have a mixer in this respect in order to make this particular cake. Another thing I do, which is something, I'm 64, and when I was growing up, we often got our eggs straight from the farm. So this is a habit that I have developed over the years with baking with my mom. So I always crack my eggs into a separate, in this case, a separate bowl before I add them to my mixture. And that's just, just in case there's something going on with the egg, you never know. All right, so I'm gonna add my 1 cup of water and my 1 cup of oil. And we're gonna start out with the first egg. Uh-oh, well, that didn't work out too well. Let's do this one. All right, so as you see, I have an egg on the counter here. We'll get that up in just a moment. Hey, accidents happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here, and then we will just scoop this egg right on into the bowl. Now, in this case, you will definitely want to get the hot water and all that and clean that up. So I'm gonna do that, and I will be right back. All right, so we're all cleaned up now. Whenever, things happen, and I didn't edit that out because things happen. And new people who are new in the kitchen need to understand that, things happen. You just, clean it up and keep on going. All right, so as I said, I'm not using the mixer. I have gone ahead and set my oven temperature to preheat at 350 degrees. Okay, we're good. I know I keep saying it, I keep whipping it, but I want to make sure that I have whipped it enough Okay. One last quick whip. Whip, 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 whip. Kind of like when you're doing your aerobics and they're like, one last, just come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Yay. And we did it. All right. So because this is going to be a, I'm just going to, crumble the cake into my jars. I'm just going to use this pan and it'll give me kind of a thinner cake. So we're just gonna spray some Pam on it. And we're gonna pour it in here. Let me get a spatula. So it's almost going to be a very thin sheet cake of sorts. Alrighty. And there we go. So into a 350 oven for about 20 minutes or so. Yeah, for about 20 minutes or so because it is so thin, we won't have to worry about leaving it in very long. So there we go. We're gonna let our cake cook. I'm gonna clean up my mess and I'll be back. All right, our cake is out of the oven. We're going to allow it to cool. I have it sitting on a cooling rack. I'm going to allow it to cool. It took about 20 minutes maybe for it to cook because it is considerably thinner than the other cakes, your normal cake, so it didn't take quite as long. So we'll let this cool and then we'll begin assembling. Alrighty, so our cake is done. So what I'm going to do now is take the cake and then put it into my bowl and just crumble a little bit. I'm not going to do any fine crumbles or anything like that. Now, while I'm saying that, what you could also do if you wanted to, because the cake is thin, it is very thin. So if you wanted to, you could cut it this way and then just, place it like, if you want to do like piece by piece in the jar. So let me show you what I mean. Just as an example. So again, the cake is thin. Tastes good. I'm going to eat this so it doesn't matter. You could start out by putting the cake pieces in the bottom like that. Now I made my own frosting, and you can use frosting, you can use Cool Whip, whatever you want to use. And I'm just going to, kind of put it in the jar that way. And you can take a couple of strawberries and push them off in there. You can, of course, cut the strawberries to be smaller if you like. And then we're going to add some more frosting. Then we can take another piece of our cake here. And at this point, if you want just to kind of push it in there, fit it in there, you could just, this is however you want to do it, okay? Okay. At this one, you may decide that you want to put the strawberries on top of it this way. And then press it down. And then we can add. Now this one, of course, made this way, would be one that you'd serve right away, right? You wouldn't put a lid on it. So let's look at another way to do it. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to take up some of the cake. I'm just gonna tear it, just put it in here. I need to get it out of here before it starts sticking, which is what it's doing. So I'm just gonna take it all out because I don't want it to stick to my pan. Because as it cools, it sticks. So. See, the bottom is all nice and pretty and golden. Okay, let's put this over in our cleaning area. All righty, I'm gonna move this out of the way also. Okay, so here we can break it up. We can just break our cake up. Now your cake doesn't have to be this thin. I mean, you can make it thicker if you like, but that's up to you. You do what you want to do. Okay, so this time I'm going to put my frosting in the bottom. And I'm gonna add strawberries at the bottom this time. Okay, strawberry at the bottom. We can break up our cake and put it in there. Press it down. Let's put some more of our frosting in there. Now this time, we're only gonna add enough strawberries because this time I wanna put a lid on it. So we're just gonna push the strawberries in here. Do one right there in the middle. And now we can put our lid on it. And there we have our strawberry shortcake in a jar. So let's do one more. This time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the frosting in the bottom. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some cake down there. Okay, but I'm also gonna go ahead and put some strawberries down there too. So this time, rather than separating it, I'm combining it all together and then putting a little bit more whipped cream on the top or frosting on the top. Let's do some more cake. And we'll do some strawberries. And we can do some more frosting. Now, if you have those people that don't like a lot of frosting, like more fruit and strawberries, then this is a good one for you as well. And we'll just put our top on there like that. And so we have another version of strawberry shortcake in a jar. All right, I'm gonna do one more. And this time, let's see. Yeah, this time we're not gonna put anything on the bottom. We're gonna put our, we're not gonna put the whipped cream on the bottom. We're gonna put our strawberries on the bottom this time. Okay. And instead of scoop or pressing it on, because not everyone has, not everyone has the piping bag like that, right? So if you don't have a piping bag, don't sweat. You got a spoon, right? So just dabble. There you go. Just put it in there. Okay. And we can take our cake. This time I'm not gonna really break it. I'm just gonna take it and shove it in there. See the difference it makes? Look at the difference. All right. And we're gonna go ahead. Now, the frosting in this case does act as a barrier, a moisture barrier between the cake and the strawberries. So, that's a good thing. If you don't want soggy cake, that's up to you. So we're gonna put some more strawberries in here. And this is gonna be another one of those that we're going to close up. Okay. In this case, instead of the bag, we can just add a little dollop right there on top. If you wanted to get really fancy smancy, take some crumbles and crumble some cake on top of there like that. Padow! Hey now. And there you go. Strawberry cake in a jar. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and those I'm gonna put in the refrigerator, but I'm gonna go ahead and taste test this one. Not like I don't already know, you know, what it tastes like. So, now the way we're gonna eat these, now if you are hosting and, you know, maybe you set some extra strawberries on the side, or maybe they want a little drizzle, you know, let me show you what I mean. Or maybe you want to take some of that syrup and drizzle it. Now, of course, this is when you're at the house, right? You just want to drizzle. Ooh, y'all. Look at that there. Baby. Y'all know that looks good. Y'all know that looks good. So, my spoon may be too big, but we're going to dig down off in here anyway. Dig down off in there. And look what we got. All that. I got cake, I got strawberry, and I got frosting. Oh. Okay. Woo! It's sweet. It is sweet. And you can control that sweetness. You can control that sweetness by what you're going to be using. You know, like whatever you're going to be using as far as your frosting, or if you're going to be using Cool Whip or something like that. If you're making your own homemade frosting, then you can, of course, you know, choose how much sugar you want to put in it. But here we go. Here we go. Strawberry shortcake in a jar. So y'all see that? Strawberry shortcake in a jar. Hope you enjoy that, because I'm getting ready to go eat the rest of this one right here, because it's good. And it didn't take long, really. It didn't take long at all. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that, because I'm getting ready to. Bye. Yeah, that's good. Let me just take that strawberry. Ooh.